And power to the people of the struggle. I thank the absolute truth and all of the laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows all things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. What's good? Yes, it is about 17 minutes off schedule, give or take. But hey, when I'm in sessions and a client needs a little bit extra time to get off what they need to get off, I gotta do what I gotta do, right? Not to mention, I gotta shut my kitchen down as well. So please pardon the tardiness, but you know what it is. Come on, social media, right? When I'm here and you're here. So welcome. And as always, know that you are encouraged to be intelligent. Know that you are encouraged and safe here. You're also welcome to dialogue, to question, to give solutions. Huh? Man, I'm not up late. This is the average shit. The kid gets zero rest. Sometimes I got clients in crisis. They may hit me midnight, 12:30. Listen, I got clients from here, some in London, some on the West Coast. I'm all over. You understand? I work hard for a little bit of change, you know, that I get to sustain what I need to sustain. You dig? I see you, E. I see you, Vet. I see you, Kelly Mills. Vange. I see y'all. Slaughter. I see you. Salute, salute, salute. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And as always, green screen information in effect. Mods, let the tribe know we in here. Share, share, share. And for anger management, domestic violence, life guide, anything you may need, the information will be in the chat. Let's get with it. Now, of course, yes, I was on earlier. It was a little light. That was a little light. I had to scrape your man up, tap him a little bit. You know, need to get his shit together. That's all. We're getting into something a little bit more serious. Little bit more serious, right? Because this is an issue that we have been plagued with, man, damn near since this corporation was established. Salute, 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 salute. Much appreciated, E. Salute, salute. Bring the ruckus. And since Bring the Ruckus is a new space, I encourage everybody to subscribe, especially if you need beats. Go subscribe while it's young and fresh, you know, because sometimes when we get them numbers up, we not as accessible, right? So go ahead and join there. Crime and punishment, the justice system. I've written my memoir on my time in there. I've written a how-to survival guide, right? The All-American Justice System Handbook, which is an excellent piece for all families, for people from all walks of life to understand the justice system from A to Z, from prior to post, right? Prior to being arrested to post incarceration, A to Z, everything is in there. The all-American justice system, handcuffs, shower, shoes, and visits. So I'm very well versed in the subject, having 2 separate trips, 2 years, and then subsequently almost a decade. Tonight is a piece that we really haven't gone in depth with. You've heard me speak on it, sprinkles here, sprinkles there. This is a very significant piece. And it doesn't come up often unless it comes and it's being delivered the way it's being delivered. I believe as of I believe I saw it yesterday. So it's relatively fresh. If you haven't seen the news, because it's not national, but it piques people's interest because they themselves may have been a part of the justice system. They themselves may have worked for the justice system. They themselves may have a family member or support somebody within it, right? In Fulton County Jail, Fulton County, right, is a county in the state of Georgia. There's been, salute Reggie T, much appreciated for the Cash App. There's been, I don't know what we call them, COs, up in these parts. I don't know if they call them guards, turnkeys. Some of them are, officers and such. You dig? Yeah. But this particular young woman, Kawana Jenkins, 36 years old, is being, shall I say, paraded, or for this day and time, let's call it a poster child, right, for corruption. Is that the right word for it? Corruption. Miss Jenkins has been fired and charged with several different violations, crimes. She has been accused, and there's video of her engaging in improper sexual conduct with an inmate or inmates. I have a picture on there. There's video of her, right, laid back with what they are believing as an inmate's finger, right, in her mouth. One of these numbers, playing and stuff. You know how it is. You know how some people get, call themselves getting a little freaky and stuff. Salute, Kelton, for the green screen. And I seen the last green screen I shall be giving you a call. I don't want to put your business out there. That's not how I do. But I will be giving you a call, sir. Okay? Um Now, very steamy, right? Very steamy. Salute, Wells. Peace and power. I see you. We gonna get it right too. All right? Very steamy. Steamy, to say the least. Because there should be absolutely no contact. And this is something that they're taught. I know firsthand. Not only from officers, but from civilian staff, anybody before they enter jail, holding facility, penitentiary, prison. There's specific rules and guidelines. I know that for a fact. I've seen them. I've seen the book. You know, people done told me about them. So this sister got caught on video. Now, how did she get caught? During the cell search, as they often do in these county jails, to look for contraband. Contraband are things, items that you are not allowed to have within the confines of these structures. So during the search for contraband, they found this phone, and once they found the phone, I guess they decided to look through it and saw a video of her committing this act in uniform, right? Nonetheless. So, you know, it's all over the news down there. It's all over social media. So, I mean, it's not even a point of saying alleged because they fired her and they charging her. You dig? Now, to me, she appears to be a custody. I'm going to keep it a buck. She appears to be a custody, or at least somebody who is not sober. From the act that she was committing on the video to her arrest photo, she doesn't look sober at all in either pic or video. She just doesn't seem as though she has everything up here. All right? And the conversation in the video would lead me to believe that as well. Just email me. Thank you. I shall see it. I shall see it. All right? Now, what people don't know, and what I make every attempt to explain, is being locked up is always a highly sexual environment. Why, you may ask? Well, because as punishment, right, our oppressors, our captors know that the longer you are away from the opposite sex, from your natural, biological, sexual partner, the closer you are to dying, to expiring. Just absolute fact. We see that and been taught that in every nature show since we was kids. Kindergarten kids know that. You have to. I don't care what people believe. You have to have your natural partner. If you don't, you will expire. You may be able to last a long time, 20, 30, 40 years. But trust and believe, without that partner, it's a slow death. It's a death sentence. If not, every prison would be co-ed. What other reason would that specific space be thought of as punishment? That's just common sense. As soon as you go through, you will notice that. As soon as you go through, there are no women in there. Unless, again, they are officers or somebody working there. But crime and punishment is crime and punishment. Punishment for men, the first punishment is separation from women, from females. Everything else is just added on. But trust and believe, they don't have to whip your ass. They don't have to feed you poor food the way they do. They don't have to have you in an environment that people are trying to stab you on a regular. They don't have to do any of that. All they have to do is lock you up away from that woman. And that's it. That's it. All right? Moderators, hit Rob with my email, please. Do you understand that? That is punishment. The ultimate punishment. And they've known that. We've known that. As human beings, we've known that for eons. Now, at one time, there were no black correction officers. None of that. Remember, at one time, there was no black cops. All right? But through the years, again, through the manipulation of what your oppressor does, they allow that, knowing that that is an extra obstacle for you to get around. Divide and rule. Divide and rule. If you don't know what divide and rule is, I'll be hipping y'all. I'm telling you. Until you read all 4 books in that series, you ain't really woke. You getting there. All right? Divide and rule. Black cops, black correction officers. All right? Blacks in the military, all that. Let's weaponize them against themselves. It takes a very, very strong individual to be in a position of authority and not be brutal when it comes to their own people. It takes a very, very sharp, conscious individual. You have to be very, very purposeful in how you move in that setting. So now, is she the only one who has done something like this? Hell no. Hell no. I'm here to tell you that what she did is more prevalent than you could ever imagine. More prevalent than you can ever imagine. Not from only our people, but please, them Caucasians, around all them black men's, big, strong men's with traps and shoulders and arms and chests, strong black men's. You know that that's been going on long time, long time. Since Revolutionary War, Civil War, Reconstruction, Miss Sally can't keep herself from them quarters, them stables. Nah, that's been going on long time. So you know what happens when they put them in correctional facilities, in prisons, in penitentiaries. Oh yeah, Miss Sally throw that ass on a gate. Wherever she catch her favorite black man, it's going down. Whether it be in the library, whether it be where they working at, man, in a mess hall, anywhere she could get her hands or lips around that black body. Yeah. Them white women and COs been doing white CO women? Oh, man, please. Been going on for a long time. Long time. So at a point of which they put black women in these institutions, what do you think is going to happen? There is not a litmus test that you could create that you have in your application or hiring process that you can find out what a black woman is thinking about in terms of how she views black men in that position. I don't care who she is before she gets into that employment space. But I could tell you who she gonna be when she leave. She's either gonna be ultra woke and conscious, or she gonna be used up. That's it. Many do not survive that. We have to understand that many people can act like they're asleep. Many people can act like they're not aware and don't know what's going on. But all of us understand the conditions that we're in. We cannot get away from it. We understand that we have been here under an oppressive system. It's inequitable. It is unfair. I don't care if you're a square. I don't care if you was raised up in the streets. We all know what it means to be black here. And that only magnifies when you go into the justice system. Magnifies. Absolutely intensifies. Your vision is crystal clear. Now, our women struggle with a lot when it comes to life here, when it comes to our men. As nurturers, as protectors, whether it's their father, their brother, their uncle, or their sons, They always want the best for us and will break their back to make sure that we have. I don't care if you the best dude in the world or your ass is a custy. There's a black woman somewhere that's loving you and gonna take care of your monkey ass. Whether you come through, right, looking like Billy D. Mahogany, or your ass is coming through looking like Sam Jackson as Gator, a black woman is going to take care of your monkey rusty ass. You can bet that. That's not up for debate at all. When they see men in the most dire conditions that they can be in, locked up, without some of the basic necessities, in a position of extreme need, they are going into action. Not for everybody, not all the time, and not every one of them. But the law of averages is that their nurturing cap is on, which is why they try to indoctrinate them out of it. An indoctrination process starts with the propaganda out here, which is why I speak on the culture so much, which is why I speak on images so much, which is why I speak on how we view each other, how we see us, not how they see us, how we need to see each other. Because the propaganda and indoctrination right now, as it has always been, is to separate us from our women, us as parents from our children away from us away from our elders. The separation, so that regressive negative image of the black man is pounded into everybody. So when you come through those gates, no one is supposed to have any sympathy for you. That process starts out here. That process starts in their education system. That process starts in the workforce. Okay? Now, when you go through them doors, it's only natural that it's a shock if you've never been there before. When a black woman believing that she can handle that, I don't care what you say. I don't care who you talk to. You ask anyone, family member or friend, what was their first day like on the job? Some of them are so traumatized they can't remember. It's a difference from TV and movies and then from you actually being in uniform and in that spot. To see how some of them smell, to see how they talk, to see how they act. At that level of their life, shocking. And then to see how other black men treat them and how the administration, which is usually Caucasian, not so much now, you would be surprised how many of us are at the top of these facilities. Wardens, depth wardens, security, all the way on down. Sheriffs, all that. Yeah. So all that FBA shit and all that go out the window when they sitting in that position right there. They are the plantation runners. Okay? That's who they are. And I don't give a damn what fraternity they're in, what church they're in. They will kill your black ass. Dead. in that facility. Okay? For a woman who has been on the set, who has been in society and have never witnessed that type of treatment, is going to shock her. Simple as that. Simple as that. When you know that you have brothers, uncles, friends, classmates who are black men, to make that shift and transition, to view them in a space is different from saying, boy, you're going to get in trouble. Nah, y'all need to not do that. They're going to go. It's different when you are in uniform and in that space and you seeing them coming through by the thousands. If you're working in a county jail, you see them coming in and out by the thousands. If you believe you're not traumatized or that they're not traumatized by it, you don't know much about mental health and behavioral studies. Because shit, I got traumatized by it. And I was a participant on the highest level. It is traumatizing. Trust and believe. It does something to your head. It does something to your soul. It's not a game. Back in the day, you could have just did 5 years. You come out, you get SSI. Then they realize that shit, 5 years ain't nothing. These dudes are doing that on their head. They don't need no SSI. Let's see if we could get them back. That's when the term recidivism and all that start coming into play. But I don't want to go over there. I want to stay with these black women. Okay? I'm going to stay with these black women. Some of them, for no other reason but to get out of the conditions that they're in. Because, to be honest, you can't even pitch that to somebody who's sensible. You want me to go up in there with a whole bunch of men locked up? That don't sound like a job to me. Hell no, I don't want to do that. But some of the conditions, some of the economic conditions are so severe because of miseducation, because of underemployment, because they get our children so caught up into the games, into the streets, into over-sexualization that, shit, at any given time, some of these young mothers may not have no other options. That the life is spiraling out of control quickly. So somebody saying, hey, yo, listen, man, you can be on your feet in 90 days. And within 5 years, getting top salary. Come on in. That sounds a whole lot better than going from shelter to shelter or from trying to struggle through school for 4 years and at the end of the 4 years still not get some employment. Right? So it's a head trip. It's a head trip. People got to make decisions. And sometimes that's the best decision. Just most of them were dealing with somebody who was in the life and went to jail and left them out there with no other resource. All right? So again, the love, directly and indirectly, figuratively and literally, that love that black women have for black men, when they see them destitute, it's a lot to take. And not just witness. It's not just like they passing through. They have to sit in the pocket and hear all these conversations and hear about the injustices, right? And hear about some of them with no one on the outside giving a damn about them. Hear them when they're getting beat. Hear them when they begin to lose their mind. What do you think? You think you can shut all that shit off? You really think it's possible to shut that off? Men are able to do it because men always are predators. So you give them a suit, some authority, and they don't give a damn about you. They could care less because they don't have that nurturing spirit in them. They can see their son come through, literally, and won't give two damns about it. All right? With women, it's different. Now, in the mix of all that, the energy in there is so up. Do you know how much testosterone, how much energy is in these spots? You talking about you may have a dorm. Anywhere between 30 and 50 men in a dorm. You may have a cell block with 30, 40 people in a cell block. Not having any sexual intercourse for a given time. We'll get into the ways and how, but I'm talking about in any given time. Do you know what it's like for a woman to sit in that hour after hour? They are women. They are human beings. Listen. Some may last years. Some may never happen. But more than likely than everybody wants to believe, the earth got to get watered. And when that kitty start purring, somebody gonna look real good. Somebody gonna be real handsome. Somebody is going to be the apple of somebody's eye. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And from the moment that that enters her head, she's looking for a spot. I'm saying, if I seen him on the outside, I'd give him a taste. And if he know what to say, he might not have to wait to get on the outside. If it's a little spotty spot on the side, I'll give him a little taste. Trust and believe. Just as if any of these dudes that's locked up in there and they see her or women, they on it. They like this. Oh, shit, look at Shorty. She right. You think women don't say, damn, look at him, he right. Oh, and he running shit in here? Or, I know him. You think this don't go, this is our people. We know each other. Problem is, it's forbidden. It's against the law. And they tell them that coming through the door. Now, again, as I told you, right? Earlier, she does not look sober. She doesn't. So if Shorty got a habit, and these little dudes got some bread or some influence, or maybe might even have her drug or drink of choice in there, they probably was partying for a long time. We can only imagine what other videos is out there. That's why they're acting like that. And if you allow yourself to be that loose, then you compromising security in the spot. You might bring these dudes a hammer. You might do anything. So they got to get you up out of there. But look at what they charged her with. Improper sexual contact. Cruelty to inmates. 2 counts of that. All right? And violations of the oath of public officer. 5 counts of that. Now, what is the oath? Because y'all heard me speak about it numerous times. And I keep telling you and telling you and telling you that any career, any job where you see a badge, where you see flags and these insignias, there's always an oath that you take verbally and that you sign your John Hancock on. Always. And that oath that you're taking, at that point, you ain't black. You ain't FBA. You ain't nothing. You ain't Muslim. You ain't Christian. You ain't nothing but that uniform and that badge. And this is how come our people are a little bit screwy, because y'all think that people could play both sides. You can only play both sides until you have to make a life or death decision. Okay? Okay? Because in this country, in these institutions, whitey's boss. So people are just playing, holding seat and holding position and all that. If it comes down to it, your black ass is gone. You out of here. So these oaths that they take have precedence over anything. That's why school and church is separate. Well, church and state. Let me fix that. Church and state. They don't give a damn. State rules. And who is the state? Uncle Sam. Who is Uncle Sam? You seen his picture. So when you taking these oaths, oh, they're going to rock your ass when you violate the oath. That's what it all comes down to, because we trusted you. But you didn't live up to your duties, and you didn't live up to your word to make sure that we reign supreme. You let that little thing between your thighs compromise our safety. Our safety, not yours. Because we don't even know if her life was in danger. We don't know none of this. We don't know if they knew her. We don't even know if that was her boo. We don't know anything. We just got a news story. We don't know if that was her man from the town back in the days. We just know that that thing said, and she was all in. We playing in the devil's mansion. All right? You're playing in the devil's mansion. Okay? And let me tell you, a lot goes down up in there. And that's the truth. That's the absolute truth. A lot goes down in these institutions. But in that, you get caught, you get caught. There's a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit going on. Listen, I'm telling you firsthand, I've seen marriages not a marriage. Marriage is with an S. I don't know how many times during my little almost a decade, and not black officers. Nah. I'm talking about them white civilians marrying black inmates. I'm talking about white correction officers marrying black inmates, leaving the job. I don't want to do this no more. I don't know what he had. He must have had syrup on his lips when he kissed me, and that pipe that he gave me. I don't want to work here no more. I don't want to work here no more. I've seen it. They're married dudes. I done had homies that got married to civilians in there. I got a day one homie that I raised that took a chick off the job. This little white chick was so bad they nicknamed her Britney Spears. Left her job for my little man. Don't tell me about how it gets down in there. It goes down. Nothing is more powerful than the concentration of melanated testosterone. Woo! Might make your head blow off. You heard what Grandma Clump said. Woo! All that man built up. 35 years. Woo! Might make your head pop off. Yeah. So I seen it, so it goes down. And they know it go down. They know it goes down. So this sister didn't have a shot. As most don't. They don't have a shot. The minute things come and go. They bring you food. They bring you whatever. It goes down in there. It does. And it's only a natural thing. Because they're oppressed too. They got working hours. That's ridiculous. Administrators, they bosses, they supervisors treat them like shit. They're in constant danger because they got no wins in the situation. One or two of them in there with 30, 40 people who've been taken away from everything, who are facing years, some of them life in prison. That's the most dangerous, volatile situation you can place a woman in. All that fear, all that anxiety, all that sexual tension building up. Got them walls just filling with blood. It's a lot to withstand. It's a lot to withstand. So she's not the first and she won't be the last. Trust me. Trust me, she won't. Trust me, she won't. The same activities that go on out here goes on in there. If some of them have been raised to be loose, they're going to be loose in uniform. Yeah, them walls be filling up with blood. Yeah. Come on, man. Not to mention that they got to fight off each other. Yeah. Officers be on each other, you know. Man, listen. It's just no place for anybody to be at all. It's just not. And I don't see why any man would want that job. Because you got to look in grippers every day, all day. What man who want to do that? Who wants to do that as a man? Bend over, spread your cheeks, cough, looking in gripper. You a grown-ass man. You want to look in another man gripper. homeless man gripper, dope fiend gripper. Don't know if you're what you want to be gripper. What man want to do that? Now, if you don't know what it was before you went in, and once you got in, you know what it is. So it's like, yo, hold on, let me put my papers in, man. I'm not standing around looking at grippers all day. What is this? They do it all day. So I'm telling you, it's not a place for anybody, but they have our people conditioned, right, into all these little sub lifestyles. Anything to get you away from the goal of liberation. That's what street shit is. That's what street niggas are. Let me tell you something. Because you see a lot of videos. You see a lot of dudes. You hear a lot of stories. You got TV shows and movies about it. Let me tell you something, man. And I'm telling you from the most intelligent, woke spot ever. Okay? Street niggas, thugs, gangsters, whatever you want to call it, it ain't about shit. The streets are nothing. Do you understand me? Anybody can do it. In order to be out there in the streets, you either have to not acknowledge the consequences that may manifest from your actions. That's it. Either you don't acknowledge it, you don't know what it is, and you too can be a street nigga. If you can build up in your mind that you can deal with the consequences, whatever they may be, then you'll be a street nigga. You'll be a good street nigga. Super thug, super gangster. Because ain't no man, no woman, ain't no woke, conscious person going to continuously try to push the envelope knowing that that might be a consequence. That's all the streets are filled with. People who don't know, don't understand, or cannot and will not acknowledge that their actions are going to have consequences that they may or may not be able to deal with or don't care about it. That's why they locked you up. Because if you do not care about these severe consequences and your action is something that can be repeated, oh no, we got to lock your ass up. Okay, so it's not hard. It ain't hard. Nothing to it. I've been around the best, I've been around the worst. The determining factor is always consequences. That's why you got snitches. That's why you got rats. Because whatever the consequences, they don't want to deal with it. Not for a millisecond. All right? Kawana Jenkins. That's the name. Kawana Jenkins. Fulton County, Georgia. That's it. So they could keep parading around these dudes like any one of them was extra special. Parade them around like any one of them was extra tough. Hell no. Some didn't know the consequences. Some thought they would escape the consequences. That's it. Unless your ass is a serial killer, you eating people, you doing some outlandish, weird shit, biting people's nose off and all type of stupid ass shit, and you're criminally insane, They got a story to tell. They just like anybody else. I've been around them all. I'm telling you. And them niggas cry when they don't get a visit. They cry when their mama die. They cry when they get another 2 years at the board. All that shit. They don't tell you that. They don't show you that shit. Scared to death when they catch a fever and that shit. They don't know if they're going to make it out or not. That's all street niggas is about. And now that snitching is at an all-time high, they ain't doing shit. These niggas will run crazy, do all type of weirdo shit to their own people, and then tell. That's it. That's it. Just take away the prestige of that bullshit. This ain't no super gangster, super thug, nothing. No. That ain't it. Either you're dumb and don't know the consequences, ignorant of the consequences, right? Through a whole lot. There's a lot of factors to that. Miseducated, can't read, some might be on the spectrum. You got a lot of it, but they can perform in the street because it don't take much. The language, the body language, the communication doesn't take much. You got drugs? Yeah. You know how to sell it? Yeah. How much does that cost? What? Some of them don't even know that. What? Oh, give me a gun. They got money. I can take it. That shit is elementary. Yes, teach you remedial shit. Ain't none of that shit rocket science. None of it. It's not. So anyone could perform at that level. Ignore the consequences. Do you? Ignore the consequences. And you too can get a BET special. Yeah. You too can be praised while you're doing forever in the pen. Yeah. Ignore the consequences. That's it. Be ignorant. And you too can change the legacy of who you are. Shit ain't tough. Trust and believe that. So in the makeup of it, people speak. Remember, all you know is all you know. You don't know any more, you don't know any less. You don't know any more, you don't know any less. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you are only speaking the language of the street, if you only speaking the language of a specific hustle or a specific street trade, that's all you know. So you don't suffer many consequences, or you don't acknowledge those minor consequences that you go through because you're traumatized. So you start to cope. You get coping mechanisms. You drink. You over-sexualize, right? You get knee-deep in a hustle. Now you got to be about hustle. Now I'm about my brain. I'm lit. I'm about my paper. Yeah, I'm getting to it. That's the language of the hustle. And in that language, in that communication, that's a small world. Very small world. They try to blow it up through putting it in the culture, and it's a mix of hip-hop but that's a small world. So you're not going to meet consequences until it's time to pay. And that judge is there. BAM! And they send your ass back to the hooscow. That's when the consequences start rolling in. For some, others are very comfortable in the spotty spot. Again, consequences have to be acknowledged. You can only acknowledge consequence and the pain of it, right, is if you are a sound mind. Because shit, I wasn't of sound mind. I ain't bat an eye. Judge told me over 30 years, I ain't bat an eye. Shit. Took that shit on the chin. Like, okay, what's the next phase of this shit? Out of my mind. Crazy, like, fuck out of here. I'm gonna dig a hole. I'm out of here. Yeah, this shit, yeah. Literally. Got back to the town by the skin of my teeth. I'm telling you. So if you are not, because you're so deep in the language and the ego and the perception of who you think you are, you might miss the consequences. I got homies in jail still talking the same shit that they was talking when we was 18. Got forever and think it's funny still to this day. And it got about 30 in. Why? Because they ain't never been woke. Hell yeah, I was digging a hole, B. Because you see, as this same sister was letting dudes, put fingers in her mouth and all that shit and play kiki, I was telling them to bring me uniforms, yo. I'm getting the fuck up out of here. We gonna dig a hole. And you ain't bringing me shit to keep me in here. I don't want your little musty box. I don't want your goddamn spaghetti from home and all this other weird shit that we can't have. Give me them goddamn uniforms and how the hell we gonna get up out of here? Come on. The fuck out of here. Come on, yo. Yeah, even when I was out my mind, I dealt with high science. I ain't never going to accept my captivity, whether it's in there, whether it's here on these streets up under the system. I'm never going to accept my captivity. Period. Goddamn sweetback. And if any of my military buddies are on here, they'll tell you I was in Germany. What they was calling me Tucky Sweetback. Because I put them on to Sweetback's badass song. I put them on to that movie. Yeah. They was calling me Tucky Sweetback. Because they ain't understand it. Yeah, I'm putting y'all on to something. I put them on to Tucky. I put them on to Sweetback. And I put them on to Fritz the Cat. They ain't know nothing about that in 88. I knew about all that because I was raised in it. So I was up on Fritz the Cat. We go to the VCR shop and get the tapes. I'm like, yo, this is what y'all gotta be watching. Yeah, I'm putting them on to it. I'm telling you. And that was in 88. So I'm not no new woke. I'm not new conscious. I'm not, come on. So again, this is the shit that happens. All the war stories, I can tell you all that. I done seen dudes hang up, cut up, stab up, they grippers took, all that. That's symptoms of it. Damn, we could glamorize that shit. I can talk that shit for hours. No. I want you to get into the mind of exactly what these black men and black women are going through when they're working in these places. And how they are susceptible to anything. Once that sympathy, once somebody pulling at your heartstrings, and once them sisters, somebody start pulling on that, them kitty whiskers, take a lot. That ain't in the street where you could just get up and walk away or talk your talk in that. Nah. You could talk your talk in it, but you still sitting in that bubble. You still sitting out here on the floor. You still sitting there. And dudes is spitting all day, every day, every one of them. Somebody always spitting. And something is going to click. Yeah, it's a highly sexual environment. highly sexual, especially for a young woman. Especially for a young woman with a habit. So that's what y'all watching. That's what you're seeing there in that video and in the news article. Okay? That's what you're watching. Someone who is not of sound mind, didn't have control over her body, and was manipulated by various different people. From her higher ups, from the situation, from the people she involved with, and from her own mental space on what she viewed as right and wrong. So I'm telling you, she might get around, right? The sexual contact. She ain't getting rid of them 5 counts of the oath violation. That ain't happening. Just for the simple fact dude was touching her. That's enough right there. That's a violation. And wherever she was located, because I can't really see, but looked like she might have been in the cell with the dude. She was, gotta watch it again. Terrible thing. Terrible thing. Terrible, terrible thing. Lost everything. Whatever she was attempting to gain, just lost it. Just lost it. And I don't believe so. You know, I don't want to say 100%, but I don't think the unions are strong down there. Not like shit up here. I don't think it's that strong. So she might be out on her own with that. So it look like she might be going from Fulton County Jail to one of them little strip clubs down there. She got to earn her keep. You dig? Got to earn her keep. She might have kids to feed. And just blow it all. Because she want to play. Alright? So understand what we dealing with here. Everyone has to understand. And if you don't, again, go purchase the book. The All-American Justice System Handbook. Handcuffs, shower shoes, and visits. Okay? Yeah. From A to Z. Tells you everything. Everything you want to know. From county jails to state prisons, all that shit. Everything. Law library, how to work out, go to yard, what to eat, what not to eat, how to go to state shop, all that. How to perform on the visit when your people are supportive and coming to see you. What books you read. Anything. I got it all in there. So yeah, order you a copy. Order you a copy. All right? So just don't demonize this sister. You know, it is what it is. She'll be all right. You'll be all right, Kawana. Sober up. Get your shit together. You know? Get your shit together. You be okay. You dig? But yeah, I don't work on reform. I work on prevention. In order for none of us to be in that space, we have to prevent the mentality of criminality and replace it with revolutionary. That's it. Revolutionaries ain't criminals. And criminals ain't revolutionary. So the quicker we get our people out of that ghetto shit, out of that nigga bullshit, out of those little sub-lives, that shit that's beneath us, and more into something more positive and progressive, right? The quicker we do that, yo, the better off we be. It's just that simple. Keep praising that shit. I don't know how many more years y'all gonna keep praising that. At every given turn, the end results are death or jail. Every turn. I haven't seen a story yet. I haven't seen one story yet where they walk off into the sunset playing that bullshit. They all suffered miserably, horribly, terribly. They could smile and cheese now and talk that shit. Yeah, nigga, you suffered and you're still suffering. Shit don't end well. Leave the bullshit alone. Straighten up. Straighten up. Alright? So as always, don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. I salute all my moderators for coming through. Please get the green screen info in effect. I do a lot of work. Let's get this shit right. Oh! And I did find a way to get my merch off and running. I'm going to be doing a test of it tomorrow. Yes, indeed. I found the 2 sites. I just hope that these sites, right, have good quality, nice thick, nice firm printed. Yeah. Y'all said y'all want the merch. I'm doing, look, I do everything on my own. I don't have a staff and assistants. No, I do everything for Dolo. So it's time consuming. I gotta come here, give content. I got people, as y'all can see in the chat, that I have, they in crisis. I gotta do what I gotta do. It's not enough hours in the day. And definitely not enough resource. I gotta fight through people watching all this other weird bullshit. Come on now. Come on now. Merch is coming. Books is there. Let's go. Let's build this tribe. Let's start putting a dent in these conditions, man. It's time for this shit to go. 60s and the 70s done taught us, the 80s done damaged us, the 90s had us going crazy. Let's go, yo. It's time to go. Believe in you. Put your glasses on. Believe in you. Yeah, the book is on Amazon. Yeah, the book is on Kindle. Yeah. Yeah. I used to smoke reefer. Yeah. Alright? So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Shit, the way I move, I might see you again tonight. Now, that might come up 2:30 in the morning. It's always jewels to drop. Always education to be given out. Yeah, I used to smoke reefer.